Hey Mom Togs, it is Elizabeth here with Mommy's Gonna Snap and Ginger Snap Studios, and today I want to talk to you about some different brightening techniques that you can use to bring light and life into your images and the power of Adobe Camera Raw. So this is an image of my daughter doing her first birthday cake smash. This one's absolutely hilarious, so I definitely want to edit this one. And as you can see, the image is pretty dark. I was shooting with a higher shutter speed than I normally do when I shoot kids because I did not want any motion blur at all with the cake smashing because they tend to be very active when they're doing cake smashes. So I was okay underexposing this image just a bit so that I could, knowing that I could fix it in post-production, just so that I could make sure that I got the clarity in the images that I wanted to. Now, I took this at an angle so that I could get this fun little funky angle of her smashing the cake right here. And that left this little gap over here, so I went ahead and clone stamped that to make it seamless without cropping because I don't want to lose the composition here. She's pretty rule of thirds oriented right here, and I don't want to bring this in any closer. I like this negative space over here. I just think that it's really a fun image the way that it is. So I went ahead and did that. Now, some ways that you can brighten up your image are going to be you can add a soft light layer. So that's what this looks like. Brightens it right up. And I'm going to show you how to do this. You can go down to this little layer button over here, or you can go up here to Layer, New Fill Layer, Solid Color, select the soft light mode from the mode drop-down menu, click OK. And this is just using a white one. You can change the color, of course, to the type of light and mood that you feel like suits your image best. Again, this is just going to add light and brighten things up. A white light is probably preferential to the studio work. And then down here, you can just lower the opacity to change to get the brightness that you want. Now, this to me is pretty flat looking light. It has a tendency to wash the image out completely, which if that's a look that you like, then by all means use it. This is not my personal preference as far as style goes. So I'm just going to click that off and I'm going to show you the next way that you can brighten your image. The next way that you can brighten your image is by using a brightness contrast adjustment layer. That's what this kind of looks like after you mess with it a little bit. I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, you can go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, Brightness and Contrast, or you can come down here to the Layer Adjustment button and select Brightness and Contrast from the menu. And then all you do is up this like this until you get it to where you are happy with your image. That's pretty nice. You can lower the contrast, you can up the contrast. It gives you some really great control over this, and you know that looks pretty great. But there's still more that we could do to make this look the best and do it more all in one step. So what I'm going to do is click these off, and I'm going to flatten this image because I'm happy with my clone stamping. It's going to discard all those images that I clicked off and bring this into one image so that we can work with this. Now, it's very important when you're working in Photoshop and you're editing your pictures that you edit in a way that is not destructive. That means that we don't want to touch this background layer. We don't want to do anything to it. We want to build on top of it so that we retain the original background image and keep that so that we can always go back to it and fix things. if we need to. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to right click on this and click duplicate layer. You can also go up here and click layer, duplicate layer. This is just, I like working in the tray. It's a little bit faster, and I'm not a keyboard shortcut person at all. So now I have an exact copy. If I click this on and off, you're not going to see any difference. Hey, baby girl. Now I have an exact background copy right here that I can work with, and it's not going to affect the background layer below it. So what I'm going to do now is go up here to filter, and I'm going to click on Camera Raw Filter. This opens up the Adobe Camera Raw tools, and this is so incredibly powerful. You have basic adjustments. If you use Lightroom, this probably looks really similar to you, all these sliders. You have tone curves, you have detail sharpening and noise reduction, you have grayscale, black and white, you have split toning effects here. These are lens corrections. These are so powerful. I shoot with my wide angle lens is a Sigma 24-70 lens, and it has a tendency to have some vignetting going on. I actually used this lens for this cake smash because it's a great indoor lens with that short focal length, but you can still zoom in. So I can actually come in here and fix that darkening around the edges if I want to. And it's not going to fix the shadows from the different lighting, which is fine. I mean, you don't want to destroy those. But to be able to fix the vignetting, the distortions of lenses is really, really powerful tool. You can dehaze your images. If you shoot backlight a lot, this is a really powerful tool to bring back the lost clarity. Camera calibration stuff. I don't think I've ever messed with this, but I'll do some research on it and see what we can do with that might be cool. And then you can set presets in here as well. All right, so where we're going to be working right now is just going to be in the basic area of Adobe Camera Raw. We'll do some of the other stuff in some future videos, but I wanted to show you how you can edit so much of your image just with using these sliders right here, just like Lightroom. And it's going to allow us to brighten this image and make some other adjustments that are really going to make it pop. So I think the white balance in this image is pretty on point. Her skin tone looks great. The background, I was shooting on an ivory seamless paper, which I love seamless paper, especially for cake smashes, because they get it messy, you cut it off where the mess ends, and you roll it up and you throw it in the trash. Foolproof, easy peasy cleanup. It's brilliant. If you're doing a cake smash indoors, I highly recommend some seamless paper. And anyway, so you can definitely see the yellow tone in the ivory, which I definitely want. I think it's a nice contrast to the really bright colors that are on her. So I'm not going to mess with the white balance at all, but I will show you what you can do. You can make it a little bit more blue, or you can warm it up a little bit. And this is all personal preference. You can also warm it up with more red or cool it down with more green. If your skin tones look a little green, pull up the red. If your skin tones look a little red, you can pull down the green, because these colors are what balance each other. So that's a really good thing to keep in mind. All right, exposure. This is what we definitely want to mess with, because I underexposed this image a couple notches on my light meter. We want to pull up the exposure probably to about maybe plus 0.65. I think that looks great. Now, I'm pretty happy with the contrast, but I'm going to pull it up just a little bit, get a little bit more definition there. Loving that. All right, let me show you what the highlights do. The highlights bring up all the light in the image. We can lower them or we can bring them up. I actually don't want to mess with the highlights in this image at all, because I really like the silky look of the backdrop. She looks very properly exposed now and very clear, and I'm loving that. What I might mess with, though, is the shadows, because there's some funky spots on the backdrop. I don't mind this around her, this is pretty dark. So what we can do in here is pull up these shadows a little bit. And that's actually brightening her hair a little bit, which is good because she does have kind of a redhead going on. So I think I'm happy with that around 53. So her hair looks like perfect now, very natural. And this shadow is much less annoying to me. All right, the whites in the image, if you click Control or Command and you click on this, you can mess with it and bring up the whites, and that's going to really make the image pop. Same thing with the blacks. This is just playing with the shadows. Let me probably actually bring those up a little bit. You want to kind of just see how that's darkening some of the midtones there, brightening things up a little bit. I'm actually not going to mess with the blacks. I'm happy with popping the whites a little bit, the highlights. And then clarity, I was just going to make things a little bit clearer, get more definition. I mean, you can look at how much you can see, like look at her leg over here, and watch how this changes. This is very soft. And then the higher up we go on the clarity, the more detail this is bringing in. Like this is almost an HDR sort of a look. Her foot looks so dirty. That's really gross. Anyway, we don't want to really mess with that too much. I might bring it up just a little bit because I love all the details of the cake and everything. I think that's great. I love this little icing pop on her toe. Vibrance is just exactly what it means. It's gonna like saturate the colors, which is kind of fun. I mean, this cake was so colorful, so I might bring that up a little bit. Kind of happy with that around that 20 mark. That looks really cute. All right, and then saturation. This is going to saturate the colors or desaturate the colors. So I'm not really going to mess with that. I'm really happy with how this is looking right now. Once you're happy with this, you can go in and click OK. And now watch the magic happen. Okay, this is our edit that we just did, and if we click that off, there's our background copy, completely preserved. No biggie. Like if we decide we don't like this, we can trash it. We can do another complete edit by duplicating this background layer and working completely with it, and then we can compare things side by side and see if we're really liking where we're going. So that is the power of Adobe Camera Raw Filter. It is a really, really powerful, amazing tool. I highly recommend you get familiar with it and start using it to do these adjustments to your photos before you do any sort of artistic editing. And sometimes, you know, you don't want that artistic editing. This image, I'm not going to do anything else to it. I think that this is wall-worthy as it is. I don't need any blur. I don't need any texture. The story of this image is really her trying to eat the cake with her entire face, and it's hysterical. The only other thing that I might do to this image would be to go in and just clean up her skin tone just a little bit to make her brightened up a little bit and popping off the backdrop a little bit. I might give her hair a little bit more definition, but really this edit done entirely in Adobe Camera Raw Filter is exactly what that filter is meant to be used for, and it's, like I said, so powerful. You can do so much with it, and we'll be doing some more in another time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe, please give me some likes, please give me some love. I would appreciate it. And if you want more, subscribe. If you have questions, put them in the comments. I'm always happy to help you guys, help answer any questions you might have, and keep on learning. And please practice. All right, talk to you guys later.